Well, hello and welcome to the Best Football Show. I am Brian Baldinger at Baldy NFL. You can find me on just about every platform, Instagram, Twitter, X, YouTube, throughout the universe, the digital universe out there. I'm out there. You can find this podcast daily, especially once we start the season, just download your free Odyssey app, like it, subscribe to it. Let us know what you think about it. We're trying to grow this thing this year and step it up. All I do here every day is just talk football, what I see, the news of the day, what I glean from watching endless hours of film. So I try to share it with you, and hopefully you enjoy it. So let's get started here. The big news yesterday, obviously, CeeDee Lamb getting signed. I mean, it's an amazing contract. There's $100 million guaranteed. It's a 4-year extension. It's a $38 million signing bonus. It's a lot of money. But honestly, the Cowboys didn't have a choice. I mean, look, the offense goes through CeeDee Lamb. And so while I think they have addressed the offense line, we'll see what Tyler Guyton, the left tackle, Cooper Beebe, the center, first and second round picks, we'll see what they look like. They look pretty good to me in some extensive preseason action in week 2. But CeeDee was, he caught a third of Dak's passes last year. And honestly, did the Cowboys have to do it? Probably not. There's another year in his deal. But we've seen the wide receiver position has exploded this year. Justin Jefferson, did it. And so, he set the bar, and the bar is high. And honestly, the only leverage a player has in this whole game is withholding their services. And that's what CeeDee did. He didn't do a hold in. He wasn't hanging around. Wherever CeeDee was, he was. But the Cowboys had to get this deal done because of how valuable he is to this team and to their offense. That's number one. Number two, they get him signed basically 2 weeks before the start of the season. All right, he's going to need time because I don't care what track you're running on or what field you're running routes on. It's just not what you do in the NFL and what you're expected week 1. So he needs to get in there. He needs to get in there, get his pads on, run with his helmet, get his timing back with Dak. He needs to get his legs underneath him. It's all going to change. And so hopefully he's in great shape. Hopefully he's taking good care of himself. The thing about CeeDee that I think has been pretty remarkable is 2 things. One, he has started every game the last 2 years. Okay, regular season, postseason, he started every game. He's been healthy for the large part. I don't know about the little, nicks and bruises and things that happen to every player, but he's lined up and played. And then he's the toughest son of a gun. He reminds me, honestly, not just because he wears the number, but I played with Drew Pearson, and Drew Pearson was as tough as they came. And it's one of the reasons why he's in the Hall of Fame. CeeDee has tremendous toughness. The hits that he has taken in the middle of the field, to his credit, he bounces right up from them. He gives that team a real toughness. And you have to account for them. They move them all over the place. They find ways to get them matched up. They attack the weaknesses of your defense with them. So CeeDee gets done. I get the feeling that Jamar is close. He's practicing after holding in. I saw him in training camp. He looked like he was chomping at the bit. He was there on the sideline with T Higgins, and he was out at every practice. He was, at the very least, throwing the ball to himself. But the fact that he's back practicing, I don't know to what level. I don't know if he's taking every snap, every drill. I don't know. But he tells me that the Bengals are getting close here. And he said it last year when Joe Burrow was banged up and the Bengals were struggling. And he said it as clear as you can say it. I'm open. I'm always bleeping open. So they need Jamar. These young kids, Jermaine Burton, Yoshi, T. Higgins, they're good. They're really good young players. But Jamar is just different. He's always open. And Joe knows it, and Joe looked fantastic on the one drive he had in training camp or in the preseason game and throughout camp. If he's not 100%, he's as close to it after that, injury, 2 injuries he had last year. Now, there's 2 others that we're waiting on in Brandon Aiyuk and Trent Williams. Trent Williams just saw a bunch of guys, Penei Sewell, he saw a bunch of guys get paid this offseason at the tackle position. I mean, he's not in the top 10 paid tackles in this league, and he's not coming in for throw him $1 million. He's not doing it. Like he's coming. I believe Trent is holding out for top dollar, and he's just that good. I mean, I don't care about the 99 Madden rating or what I say about him on my breakdowns. He's an elite player. If you go and you just watch the year that Christian McCaffrey had, or even since Christian McCaffrey has joined the 49ers, I don't care where the run starts, it usually ends up behind Trent Williams. And when he's not in the lineup, like he wasn't, against Minnesota last year, against was Cincinnati, banged up in Cleveland, whatever. You watch those games, and he got banged up early against Baltimore. They didn't win any of those games. They didn't win. And I'm not saying it wasn't just Trent, but they didn't look like the same offense they did the last 6 weeks of the season and in the postseason when Trent was in the lineup. Aiyuk is a tricky deal. They want him on the team badly. Everybody does, including John Lynch, including Kyle Shanahan. It's just at some point, you just can't pay every star player. And that's what they've done. They're still trying to pay Trent, but they paid Fred. They've paid Debo. They've paid Kittle. They've paid Juice twice. You paid Nick Bosa last year. And look, honestly, I remember talking to Nick Bosa on the field last year in Pittsburgh, the first game of the season. And he had just signed a contract. And it was War and Peace. Like there's so many things that you're putting your autograph on. It's not just $100 million, $30 million guaranteed. It's a lot more than that. And so teams are trying to cover themselves. There's provisions for injury. There's all these things. These lawyers are involved. It's heavily, scripted. They're not easy. They're not easy to do. And like I said, Nick got done, I want to say 48 hours before kickoff last year. He said that sitting out and holding out the entire offseason, preseason was difficult. And he did not have the season he had the year before when he was the defensive player of the year. Training camp in the offseason is important. That being said, they need, I think, for this offense to click like it did a year ago, like it has under Brock Purdy, they need him. Now, I think Jacob Cowing is going to be a good player. I think if Ricky Pearsall gets really healthy and gets back to practicing, he can make contributions. But nobody really runs around on that team the way Aiyuk does. His blocking down the field is a big part of Christian McCaffrey's success. He's totally in as a team player. I believe they're going to get both deals done. I just do. I'm sure Pittsburgh would love to have Brandon Aiyuk. I just don't know what Pittsburgh can give. Because if the 49ers do trade Aiyuk, they want a receiver in exchange. They need a receiver in exchange. So I'm curious, like if that deal, I don't know, honestly. I don't do this reporting stuff. Jay Glazer, Ian Rappaport. I mean, I know Ian wants to report it when it gets done. That's not my job. I don't do that. So I feel like the 49ers are going to somehow get it done. Today at 4:00 Eastern, Tuesday, the 27th, teams have to be down to 53 players. It's hard. Bill Belichick talked about it on Pat McAfee's show. He was Billy Bad Boy, back when he was working with the Baltimore Colts when he first started. He was the Turk. Tom Landry always said when he was coaching my Dallas Cowboys, that helmet still is up there somewhere if I could figure it out. Yeah, right. It was his hardest day of the year because you're not just cutting rookies or, vagabond players. You're cutting players that have in some times been a big part of your success. And that's difficult to do. Guys that have helped you win, guys that have really shown commitment, but you have to make hard decisions. So it's tough. I remember, my rookie year, we had 125 rookies back in 1982. We had 110 free agents. We had 15 drafted players. Like we were in a hotel, the final cut down day, and we had difficulty, like trying to figure that out. So I think that we have to understand that this is a difficult decision for a lot of people around the league. And there's going to be some good players. The good thing is, even though a lot of players are going to get cut, over 1,000 players, over 500 players are going to get picked up on the practice squads. 16 players in each team are going to find a home. And maybe they have to work their way up from the practice squad, to the regular season. Like a lot of guys have done that in the course of their careers. So today is Thursday, the 27th. We have 9 days until the season kicks off. I mean, you can't really contain the excitement because, in the AFC, a rematch AFC championship game in Kansas City, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, there's 3 MVPs right there. I mean, Patrick is going for a three-peat. He's going for his 4th Super Bowl. Lamar once won. It gets it started. The Baltimore Ravens last year led the league in play-action passing. Kansas City Chiefs play-action defense, not so good. 25th, 26th in the league. Just a stat to look at, something to tease you with. The following day, Friday in Sao Paulo, I'll be in Brazil. I'll be on the field game day. I'll be doing pregame hits for the NFL Network. Look, that's a prelude to what might happen in the NFC between Philadelphia and Green Bay. Two franchises that were in the playoffs last year, looking to go further into the playoffs, have made upgrades to their teams. Josh Jacobs at running back, drafted an offensive lineman in the first round, made a change at defensive coordinator. The Eagles made 2 changes at coordinators. When you look at Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator, and Doug Nussmeier, the new quarterback coach, and Vic Fangio as the defense coordinator, and position coach changes along the front. The team has been upgraded on the coaching end, which is really important. It's been upgraded to talent level. I mean, Devin White should start at inside linebacker. They haven't had a linebacker with that kind of speed in a long time. Saquon on offense is going to be an addition. They just traded for Jahan Dotson. The good teams just never stop tinkering, never stop building. You paid Jalen Hurts, never stop building around Jalen Hurts. It wouldn't surprise me if the Eagles picked up another offensive lineman. I don't know who's playing right guard for him right now. I don't know if the Eagles know who's going to start. Maybe it's Tyler Steen. Maybe it's Mekhi Becton. Maybe it's Trevor Keegan. I don't know. 10 days before the start of the season. And then you get to week 1. I'll be in Indianapolis for Houston, Indianapolis. I mean, there's the 2nd pick in the draft and C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson, the 4th pick. New coaching staffs last year, Shane Steichen, D'Amico Ryans. I think these are 2 playoff teams. I mean, I just do. I think Indianapolis is going to surprise a lot of people. I think Latu could be the defensive player of the year. I think we're all excited to watch Tennessee go into Chicago and see what Caleb Williams does day 1. I think the team around him is really good. I think Will Levis is coming in with Tennessee with, Brian Callahan and his father, Bill Callahan, coaching the offensive line. The offensive line looks like a huge upgrade over what it was a year ago. J.C. Latham, Peter Skoronski. I mean, this group could be really good. But it's going to look different. It's just going to look different. They're going to come out. It's not going to be Derrick Henry and the King, setting the table. They're going to come out and they've got guys to throw it to. Calvin Ridley looks like this is a good spot for him. I'm anxious to see what that offense looks like. But that's just there's so many good week 1 games. I just teased you with 4 of them because I think they generally impact the AFC and NFC, the AFC South, certainly. And then I think we're all excited to see what Caleb Williams does and what kind of start he gets off to. I'd be surprised if he doesn't play well, be honest with you. I feel like he's going to play well from the beginning. So anyways, that's been the best football show. I think I will join you. Pretty sure I will join you before I head to Brazil. I'm leaving next Tuesday. I'm excited about getting down there. And I'm excited for that game and that crowd. I feel like I've been down to the World Cup in Brazil. I've been down to Pro Beach Volleyball Championships on the beach in Brazil. And the crowds are crazy. They're just a big part of the atmosphere. And I expect it to be just like that. They have, from what I've understood, they have waived all the restrictions on visas. You don't need a visa to go down there right now. You always did. I've been going down there for a long time. You always need a visa. They've waived that. NFL fans can go. There's a lot of NFL fans in Brazil to begin with. I think this should be a fantastic show. I'm excited to be a part of it. So anyways, that's been the best football show. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to talking to you real soon. Like I said, 9 days away from kickoff. I think we're all chomping at the bit.